Flameislucky is, well, was an ordinary enough YouTuber. If you view his channel from the spring of 2023 to the spring of 2024, you'll see a steady amount of growth. By making documentary-style videos, in a little over a year, the YouTuber had amassed 30,000 subscribers. But the thing is, Flameislucky didn't keep at it. Once a creator known for posting monthly, the small YouTuber uploaded his last video half a year ago, and then, well, just disappeared. So, you might ask, what makes Flameislucky different from all the other small YouTubers who burnt out and gave up? After all, that sadly is a pretty popular subgenre of content creators. It could be that Flameislucky, along with many others, simply moved on to their next thing, their next hobby, or just purpose. A fitting explanation. But for one thing, that narrative doesn't fit neatly into this YouTuber's story at all. On the 9th of June 2024, Flameislucky posted his last video titled "Where is Mew?" And it's not a video essay about chess or skateboarding or esports or music or anything his fanbase would have come to expect. But instead, it's something much more sinister, much more weird, and much more unexplainable. In fact, the video itself points out, no, warns the watcher of this fact. It's so abnormal that it even selects its own audience, only residents of Waco, Texas, which I assume is Flameislucky's home city. Before I give you a brief rundown of the video, I recommend you watch it for yourself, as there's nothing quite like it on the site. The video does jump into the horror genre at some points, so you've been warned. In the first minute, we learn that painted Pokemon have appeared all over Waco, Texas. Nobody knows how they got here, nobody knows who painted them, and nobody knows why. So Flameislucky decides to document these painted creatures, trying to find each and every one around the city, in hopes that in doing so, he will figure out a little bit more about their mysterious appearance. His original hypothesis is that it's a game, just like the original ones made in 1996. Where city residents can search for all 151 original Pokemon. But it turns out to be much more than that. The more Pokemon Flameislucky finds, the weirder things become for him. His voice strains more and more throughout the video.
Do you ever get into that tired state? Or you're not sure where? Only after you've broken from sleepy trance do you realize how crazy it all felt.
But even through the madness, Flameislucky manages to collect 150 unique Pokemon. It just so happens the very first generation of Pokemon disorderly houses
151 Pokemon.
And in doing the math, that leaves one Pokemon unfound. Mew. By this point, Flameislucky is borderline erratic and believes the painted Pokemon are coming to life and breaking into his house. He flees out the back door, stops narrating entirely, and begins his crazed search for Mew. But Mew is incredibly challenging to find, and Flameislucky, quote-unquote, accepts his fate and returns home. What his fate is still remains unclear. At first, it seems like Flameislucky is teleported by the psychic Pokemon Abra right to the location of Mew. But when the teleporter loads, he finds himself in a small church with a blood-red door. User
Under the Truck 254
has pointed out that this church isn't even in Waco, Texas. It's all the way in a small town in the middle of nowhere, Alaska. After walking around a bit confused, Flameislucky finds himself at the door and contemplates for a moment before opening it. It is exactly then when the screen abruptly turns white and the video ends a couple seconds later. And this is the last video Flameislucky ever posted. It's also when the madness began.
I don't know what inspired me to make this video, but something is going on right now. And I just want to get this out there because I'm so confused on what it is. So right here, this is one of my favorite YouTubers, right? All of these are normal videos, but recently, and I mean tonight, maybe hours ago, minutes ago, he changed the names and set the thumbnails to when the videos will quote-unquote self-destruct.
Flameislucky's channel entered afterwards what can only be described as a metamorphosis, where all his normal documentary videos became corrupted, documented in real time by user
Kind Souls.
In one swift night, every past video essay of Flameislucky's was retitled with a 4-digit number and the title of Missing No, the infamous glitch Pokemon in the original games. Due to their volatile nature, Missing No's display data stats and descriptions all sprawled out in confusing and random ways. So it comes as no surprise that descriptions of Flameislucky's previous videos were replaced with cryptic sprawls of text and timestamps of Pokemon. Thing is though, is that the Pokemon have been there in the video the whole time. For example, in Missing No
1224.
there is a Bulbasaur hidden in the shifting transition. In Missing No
1220.
there is a Gengar just staring at you, watching you as you watch it. In Missing No
1212.
there's a Pokemon theme song that plays in the background nonchalantly in a video about chess?
I wanna be the very best, like no one ever was.
And it's not just the timestamp locations that reveal secrets. There are other bizarre instances in all of Flameislucky's previous videos that have gone undetected. Missing No has a short
1126.
haiku about Pokemon hidden on a handful of frames. I mean, the rabbit hole of secrets feels inexhaustible. Hidden messages illuminating in pre-existing text are found in Missing No
126.
Okay, there's a timestamp to 1040. And I don't know if you can see it, but right there, blue house. I don't know what that means.
I should point out, while it is possible to delete parts of YouTube videos once they are posted, it is completely impossible to add things to videos once posted. So this isn't a case of some hack, this is clearly intentional by the creator. Flameislucky hid all these secrets into his videos well before Where Is Mew's upload date. Just let that sink in for a moment. What exactly had Flameislucky been intending his channel to be? His videos had nothing to do with Pokemon, and yet, here we are. True to the Missing No's of the original games, which can destroy and permanently delete save files, all of the Missing No videos on Flameislucky's channel have expiration dates, the 4-digit codes. Upon writing this, multiple have disappeared, and this has caused quite an uproar among fans. From a personal standpoint, I've written hour-plus long videos before like Flameislucky's. And I know how much effort it takes to make them, so to just delete all that work for the sake of whatever is going on seems insane. He transformed his channel into a ticking time bomb, and it wasn't overnight. Clues hidden in every video tells us that this was the plan all along. To my knowledge, this is something unheard of on this site. This is the biggest YouTube mystery that no one noticed. And from the rubble came a hypothesis. Flameislucky never explicitly found Mew in his Where Is Mew video, which is still up without an expiration date. So perhaps if we find Mew, we can reverse some of his damage. After all, Flameislucky called this whole thing a game.
It takes me back to playing Pokemon for the first time, being thrown into a new world I know nothing about. And that's what got me thinking, what if this is a game?
What if we're meant to solve it? The search has been ongoing for months now, and many theories have come from it. Some searchers have even posted their own videos claiming to have solved the mystery, but the ticking time bomb Missing No's have stayed corrupted, and therefore, as far as we know it, Mew is still out there somewhere waiting to be found. Part of the reason it's so hard to find Mew is not only because no one knows where it is, but no one is quite sure what Mew technically is. In Flameislucky's video, painted Pokemon do appear, so is Mew simply another one of them that we need to find? Viewers in Waco, Texas have actually searched for Mew, but come up empty-handed so far. Another theory is that Mew is a video waiting to be posted. This theory is strengthened by Flameislucky's first video, posted almost half a decade ago, titled Mewtwo. This video doesn't find itself in any of the pictures found on the Wayback Machine of Flameislucky's channel, meaning the YouTuber switched it from private to public when Where Is Mew was uploaded. It's possible then that Mew is similar, a video waiting to be triggered. It's a crazy theory, but not too far-fetched. After seeing all the clues in Flames' previous videos and Mewtwo being uploaded 4 years before Where is Mew, it's clear the YouTuber put a lot of thought into all of this. And then, user made a monumental discovery that changed the game entirely. Another hidden message was discovered on Flames' channel, this time in Where's Mew.
Past that, I was able to make a breakthrough in the puzzle element of the video that I don't think anyone else has found. Something weird happens at 2:36, so I'll go ahead and
Perhaps
play
you
it
all
there.
wonder why.
So right here. In this box, it's very hard to see, but there is text before Flameislucky starts
You type in
typing.
Waco into
So
your browser.
it goes away there. But before that, I pulled it into Photoshop, adjusted the levels, and I was able to determine that it's a website called yourleaving.wixsite.com/hello. That last O is a 0.
We call it Hello, a puzzle game, one of the most frustrating rabbit holes of this whole thing. The site is unsettling. Hidden text hides in backgrounds. Images are mashed up inconspicuously. Eyes appear to be watching you the whole time. But under all of this is a simple enough mechanic. You click on a door in any given web page or room, as they're called, and it takes you to another one. Each door is password encrypted, and everything you need to find the password is in the room that houses the door. So far, we are on room 15, or room 5, or maybe room 31, depending on how you look at it. To be honest, it's a little tricky to untangle because sometimes a room's link doesn't always lead to the next chronological room. A secret click from room 4, for example, led us all the way to room 14, and we found a link in the metadata that allowed us to access room 31, which is not passcode encrypted for whatever reason. But the room is borderline impossible to figure out. Before room 31 was accessed, it was first hypothesized that there were only 25 rooms in Hello, since Flameislucky actually sings about a room 25 in Where's Mew.
All I can do is fall back. Spin check. Don't attack. Don't look back. Don't look back. Spirit check. Spirit check. Spirit check. Spirit check.
Hundreds of people, thousands of Discord messages exist trying to solve this thing. Let me explain what we solved so far. So, room 1 was simple enough. Plug in the song lyric from musical group 100 gecs, which Flameislucky has made a video about, and you're onto room 2. The images in room 2 lead you to look up theoatmeal.com and type in RSS, a code found at the bottom of the webpage to open the door. Room 3 was interesting, as it's the first room that utilized the song as part of the puzzle. All rooms having a unique song, and this one was Schoolhouse Rock's 3 is the magic number. Going to genius.com and looking up the lyrics of the song, one can find an annotation by the user Hello There, all the way back in 2022. That reveals the password Illuminati. For room 4, you had to find the photographer of this chess-related image, and with reverse image, searching this proved possible. And then we get to the infamous room 5. This one is yet to be cracked. Many theories exist on this one room, but they've all led to dead ends. After a rough season of trying to crack room 5, user
Realra
and I backtracked to room 4 and noticed a secret link on the chessboard, only pixels wide, on the F8, or Fate Square. The pinpoint link will lead you to this room, which reads, "What do you believe in when there is no way forward?" If you type in the light, the game congratulates you and leads you to room 14. Here, a pixelated drawing is the only thing that illuminates through the black background. User
Fapron
noticed that it was a skull kid's drawing of himself, and from this was able to deduce the password, which of course led us to room 15, where we were once again stuck. And skipping forward, about room 31, the passcode is most likely linked to the audio portion, where a narrator can be heard speaking in a tongue no one has been able to translate or even identify. So that room remains a mystery, and for all intents and purposes, another bitter dead end. Where is Mew ended with Flameislucky opening a door in a one-room church. So maybe Mew lies somewhere in the cyber maze of doors and rooms? It's not a stretch, and people still try to solve it. Day after day passed, week after week, month after month. No breakthroughs. Missing no video after missing no video slowly self-destructed until Flameislucky was left with nothing. A whole channel, perhaps even a career, deleted. It was not in Flame's interest to do any of this, yet it happened all the same, and some part of me, as a fellow YouTuber, just couldn't accept it. So, I decided to follow another rabbit hole, the theory that Mew is a painted Pokemon somewhere in Waco. Many others have already searched for the mythical Pokemon and failed, but I wouldn't rest easy until I tried for myself. So guys, I packed clothes, food, and I drove to Waco. Maybe we wouldn't be searching for Mew, but rather its clone, Mewtwo. In the middle of where is Mew, when Flameislucky finds Mewtwo. The video is glitched to the point where the location can't actually be seen on film. Instead, it is simply described, spoken aloud for all to hear.
But my favorite find of all was Mewtwo, down by the Riverwalk, hiding in a little caged-off sewer. I can't begin to tell you how excited I was when I found Pokemon 151.
There was nothing more than a theory, but it pulled me all the way to Waco to at least try. I had spent many days trying to find Mewtwo, but to no avail. And I would have given up if it weren't for the fact that I found other Pokemon not filmed along the way. Every time one appeared, I was given a boost of confidence.
We don't really get a lot of visitors. And perhaps you already know why. The Waco siege. A 51-day standoff between the FBI and the Branch Davidian cult. It ended with the Davidian compound being engulfed in flames, and everyone inside being put to rest.
I was thinking about something recently. That Where is Mew has a completely different storyline than I've been putting off mentioning. For 51 days, the people in the cult were surrounded by the FBI, including the children of cult parents. They were born into madness, and more madness was knocking forcibly at their doorstep. I think back to Ash as a kid who got to explore a beautiful outdoor world with his friends. The kids in the cult didn't get that. Instead, they were trapped in their big house riddled with bullet holes, and eventually burnt. What would it be like to be a kid who didn't get to experience the outside at all?
I tell myself I will dream of fresh air. Sunshine rolling on my cheeks. You may say, why not step outside? But I know their eyes are on me. Stop.
What would it be like to be a kid trying to go to sleep
While a cacophony of noise causes your ears to bleed.
night after night after night? What would it be like to be a kid to see strangers unannounced break into your home to hide from them in the hopes of being safe? It was an event so tragic that a simple documentary would never have been enough. So, he must have painted. That's where the Pokemon came from. The bullet holes that no matter how hard a nation tried to scrub off, they could never fully erase them. The kids at Waco may no longer have faces, but they are as real as me and you. Me and you. Me, you. Mew? What?
But my favorite find of all was Mewtwo, down by the Riverwalk, hiding in a little caged-off sewer. I can't begin to tell you how excited I was when I found Pokemon 151. It smelled like success down there.
Gengar, a shadow Pokemon, the evolved form of Haunter. Details about this Pokemon are unknown.
Gengar, the shadow Pokemon. Gengar is the final evolved form of Ghastly. It can absorb any surrounding heat, leaving a sudden chill.
Gengar!
No! Gengar, the shadow Pokemon. Gengar hides in the shadows. If a Gengar is nearby, it is said to feel 10 degrees colder than normal.
The shadow Pokemon, an evolved form of Haunter. Gengar is happy when it scares people, smiling wickedly in the dark.
Gengar, the shadow Pokemon, a ghost and poison type. Gengar can pass through dimensions and appear almost anywhere. Since Gengar absorbs any warmth around it, the temperature suddenly drops wherever it appears.
Searching for these Pokemon has left me dizzy. I'm not sure what's real anymore. Maybe in a few hours I'll wake up from this dream and realize how funny and bizarre this whole thing is.
They began to give orders to the Davidians that came out and took them into custody. And when I heard that, I made probably the toughest decision I have ever made in 50 years in law enforcement to this day. I elected to turn off the microphones, which represented 51 days of very dedicated and difficult negotiations. It also acknowledged that we had not gotten them all out. In essence, we had failed. This hit me hard. I looked around the corner at that building. By this time, it was nearly fully engulfed. I looked and pleaded that we'd see those kids. Nowhere to be seen. There was already a lot of questions starting to come up about, how could this have happened? How could we have allowed all these people to die? Well, we didn't. They elected to stay in there at David's direction.
More than 80 people are believed to have died in yesterday's fiery conclusion to the 51-day siege, 24 of them children. Today, the FBI said it's not responsible for the deaths.
We didn't have anything to do with their deaths.
The FBI said cult members didn't panic as tanks began to ram the compound, yet calmly, apparently under orders from...
I mean, our town's pretty normal, right?
I get it now. Waco is a haunted city. It takes, it destroys, and it crushes. You used your whole channel as a metaphor. A simple video was never enough for you. For the magnitude of Waco, you burned your entire channel, something you worked so hard on and loved, to the ground with Where is Mew? Because where was there God when the devil came knocking on their door? Sometimes in life, horrible things will happen that we can't possibly fathom. We will try to make sense of it, we will try to justify it, or reason with it. But in the end, it's a mystery. Our species is a curious thing, trying to balance the weight of love and hate. It's a monumental undertaking, and yet you try all the same, time and time again.